Scott is one of our many clients, and Scott's one of the individuals that really makes this work. If it wasn't for our clients doing the types of things that they do, and I'll have to say personally, as a trainer, as an educator, as an investor myself, I have learned from individuals like Scott over the years who actually are out in the field, finding the opportunities, finding the deals, and then they're bringing those deals to Equity Trust, not Equity Trust as an investment company or an advisor or chief compliance officer, although I do tend to review transactions on the surface to determine if there's something that could be prohibited or not. But what we do is operate as a custodian and help investors facilitate those transactions, and as Scott so eloquently explained, make it tax-free. And we spend a lot of time talking about how to do investing in real estate or other what we call private market investments or alternative investments, and most importantly, do it tax-free. As Scott was talking about some of those transactions, what I was thinking in my mind is something that I say very frequently, which is compounding interest in the absence of taxation. So I know a lot of people are taking notes. That's one of the first things that you can write down. Now I'm going to be pretty brief here, but I'm going to give you a few items to write down and a few items that I think you can take away that you can put into practice immediately. And that first item is compounding interest in the absence of taxation. So if you're conducting transactions in the proper way, you can eliminate taxation. Now, I will be transparent and say that not every IRA transaction is tax-free. There are instances and circumstances, especially when you're in the self-storage business or the commercial real estate business, particularly if you're investing in real estate partnerships, where you can create some taxation. It's not a bad thing, it's just something that you have to understand. And we can go deeper into that in some of our additional education, and I'd be happy to spend time with you to talk to you about that. But what's interesting about some of Scott's transactions is he has found a way to get creative and put together transactions where it's 100% tax-free. Now, the underlying common denominator here in the transactions that he is doing is that he's utilizing, to his best ability, his Roth IRA. Now, I know he mentioned that in passing, but I really want to stress that for those of you, especially who don't understand the difference between a traditional and Roth, which, by the way, if you don't, that's okay. All right, most of America doesn't understand the difference. Why? Because do you think they teach this type of thing in school? They don't. I spent thousands of dollars to get a degree in finance, personal finance. I was on a trajectory to become a financial advisor, and there's many reasons why I decided not to do that. And I'm glad that I'm here today for that reason. And not once did one of the college professors tell me about, hey, did you know you could buy real estate with an IRA or a 401k? Did you know you could make a private money loan with an IRA or 401k? Did you know you could open up a Roth IRA and you're in a totally tax-free environment and you could go out and invest in real estate, private real estate partnerships, self-storage potentially, trust deeds, mortgage notes. You can do all of these creative investments with this retirement account and not pay taxes. Nobody ever told me about that. I didn't learn about it until after college. I was working for a commercial real estate company, and the founders of this company, it was a father and a good friend of mine, his grandfather. And I went to them and I said, hey, why don't you guys have IRAs, 401ks, and other retirement plans? Who here has talked to a real estate investor before and they say, I don't have any retirement accounts? Who's heard that before? And usually the reason why is because they believe in real estate, right? They don't believe in what? The stock market, right? And that's exactly what this father and grandfather told me. They said, we don't believe in IRAs and retirement accounts because we don't believe in the stock market. And that's because most of America does not know that they can own real estate, they can own rental properties, they can do fix and flip deals, they can invest in self-storage with their retirement account, and if structured the right way, they can eliminate taxation, leveraging compounding interest in the absence of taxation, which can effectively get to your retirement goals and your financial goals in a shorter period of time. That's exactly what I saw Scott do. So I remember many years ago, Scott told me I think it was about 10 years ago, he told me what his retirement dream was, and that was for him and Chris to sell their house and basically live in an RV the rest of their life. And he got there in a shorter period of time. And one of the reasons why he got there in a shorter period of time is because he used his Roth IRA. Initially, when he was forecasting that trajectory, he wasn't considering, hey, every time I make profit in this Roth IRA, I don't have to pay taxes, which means I have more dollars to put into additional transactions. Now, I know many folks here understand time value money and compounding interest, but keep in mind that if you're out looking to partner with other investors, or maybe you're setting up like a Rule 506 Reg D fund for a self-storage project, maybe you're gonna get to that point, or maybe you're doing individual promissory notes, individual private money loans, you may wanna have some information to share with investors that may wanna do deals with you. Who is also looking for those types of opportunities, partnerships with financial friends that may want to use their IRAs or 401ks. So some of the information that I want to share with you in the remainder of this, I think could be helpful to you, but also could be very helpful to you as you are maybe attempting to tap into this very large marketplace of IRAs. A quick fun fact, there's $13.2 trillion in IRAs, $13.2 trillion. When I started in the business 15 years ago, I met our company founder, Dick Desich, who's widely known as the pioneer of the self-directed IRA industry. And 15 years ago, he became my mentor, and he told me that there was only about $3.5 trillion in IRAs, and now there's over $13 trillion in IRAs. So there's a pretty vast marketplace out there. And I will tell you that there's only approximately 150 billion invested in private assets, alternative assets. We have about 39 billion as an alternative asset custodian. The name of the custodian is Equity Trust. And so there's this huge universe again of IRAs and investors that are looking for other options. They're looking for alternative investment options, alternative to the stock market, that is. So what I'd like to do now is go through a few case studies to really get the wheels turning on ways in which you could use your retirement account to invest in real estate, specifically your Roth IRA. Now, I'm gonna give some examples that are primarily residential real estate, okay? But keep in mind that what I'm gonna share with you can apply to really any real estate asset class. It could be self-storage, it could be apartment buildings, it could be vacant land. I've seen these strategies used with all different types of real estate assets. And I'm really fortunate working for a custodian because I get to see these thousands of transactions on an annual basis. And then I can take these transactions, compile them, and actually educate other folks on how they can do this as well.